you're here. Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here.
You know, we mentioned the first week of Advent that the holiday season is hard for a lot of people. You know, we all get excited and we have a lot of enjoyment, but there are some that don't find it particularly enjoyable for whatever reason. And this past week has been a hard week for some of us. There was a lot of loss this past week. We lost a beloved Hollywood director who brought us so much joy in movies. We had yet another incident, another shooting at a university. And of course, we had the horrendous event in Australia at Bondi Beach with the Jewish folks celebrating Hanukkah. So it's been a tough week. But I love what the Daily Word just told us, that even with the obstacles and the things that come up, it's important to remember to stay in our joy. So it's very fitting that this morning's message and the closing week of Advent is all about joy, because we have to remain optimistic and we have to remain in that state of our naturalness, our natural beingness, and that is joy. And I'm going to ask Michael Shapiro, our board president, to come up, and he's going to introduce us to something that maybe some of us don't know anything about. If you did not grow up in a Jewish home, or you haven't been embedded in a Jewish community or have Jewish friends, you may not know anything about it. So come up and share a little bit about this beautiful setup right here.
Thank you. Good morning. So I may have to use some notes here. So about 200, about 200 BC, okay, Judea was under the rulership of an Assyrian king named Antiochus. And he decided that he was having trouble with the Jews, so he was going to remove their culture and desecrate their temple. And he proceeded to do so, eliminating their holidays and their worshiping. So the temple was desecrated, as they say, and the Jews were required to start worshiping the Greek gods. Okay. Under the leadership of a family called the Maccabees, there was a rebellion, and over a few years they managed to retake Judea and drive out the Assyrians, and they rededicated the temple. Okay. One of the rituals that the Jews have is to have an eternal flame, which is at the ark or in the temple. There's an eternal light that is always burning 24/7, and that's to remember the light of God. Right? The word Hanukkah itself means dedication. Okay, so this is the rededication. And the Hanukkah part was that when they were going to light that eternal light, they only had enough purified oil to last for one day. It turned out that the miracle was that it lasted for 8 days. So that is the 8 days of Hanukkah that are celebrated. So surprisingly, Hanukkah is not even mentioned in the 5 books of Moses or the Hebrew Bible. Okay? That's because that was written 1,500 years before Christ. And the rebellion is mentioned in the New Testament. And Jesus observed Hanukkah, and there's a reference to it in John, number, whatever that might be. Okay, so apparently Jesus did observe quite a few of the Jewish holidays and traditions. Okay. So what we have is a menorah. I hope all of you can see it here. This is a candelabra. The typical Jewish menorah has 7 candles on it, representing the 7 days of creation. On Hanukkah, the number goes up to 9. And that is the 8 candles representing the 8 days that the oil lasted. That's the miracle. And they have what they call the shemos, which is a leader candle, okay, which all right? I have a little problem with that. This is used to light all of the other candles, so this is the 9th candle. And the way they set it up is each day you add an additional candle. So on the first night, you're going to do 1 candle, second night, 2 candles, and so on and so forth. It takes 44 candles to go through the entire 8 days. The candles are laid out from left to right, so this would be your left, okay? So first night would be candle here, here, and then they add in this order, but they're lit in the opposite direction. Okay? So Hanukkah is a joyous holiday. It's celebrated with lights, candles, gifts, and for the Jewish children, they get actually a gift each night, so there's 8 nights of gifts, okay? These are usually minor gifts. They're not major kinds of like how Christmas is celebrated. Okay? And also there's very traditional foods that are in place. Most of them are fried in celebration of the oil that was used. Latkes, potato, and jelly donuts, and so on and so forth. Okay, so a lot of fun, a lot of lights. It's a children's holiday, and especially food, so forth. So the Christians saw how much fun all the Jews were having, and they decided they needed a holiday, and that's how Christmas began. That's the way it was explained to me. All right, so we're going to actually light the candles of the menorah. And are there any people that are close to the front row that might be willing to actually light one? I'll do the first, the lead one. Okay, and there's a blessing for the lighting of the menorah. Okay, so in Hebrew it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvah v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Okay, so the translation of that is, "Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Hanukkah." Okay, so anybody that wants to come forward, and we'll start over here. Okay, okay, you got to say the prayer too. Just no. Go ahead, like that one. Okay, anybody else? All right, just go right down the list. You didn't light yours this year. Oh my God. No, no. If you know the prayer, feel free. Absolutely. You got it. Anybody else? Okay. So remember, Jesus did this, so it's okay. It's all right. You don't have to worry. There's no lightning bolts here. You're not giving up anything. Okay? No sacrifices. Men, you're safe. Don't worry. You got it? It should drop in there.
All right.
Okay. All right, so that's everything I know about Hanukkah. And if you have any questions, okay, please get in contact with Rabbi Google, okay? And he will answer any questions you might have about the festival of Hanukkah. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Very good.
Yeah, I guess the idea of the Hanukkah, the menorah, is not to necessarily have the candles standing up straight. So for those of us that are a little OCD, it's our opportunity to be okay with that. Right?
I didn't even notice.
I know. Well, do we have anyone here with us this morning for the very first time? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're so glad that you are here today. We are celebrating joy, the kind that returns when hearts open and life is embraced again. So whether you came feeling uncertain, a little bothered by the week's events, full of questions, or just needing a place to breathe, know this: you belong, you're welcome, and your presence matters. We're grateful that you're here, and we always like to say, welcome home.
Welcome home.
All right. So yes, being the fourth week of Advent, we're going to light all of the candles this morning with the final candle for joy.
Let's light them all up.
All right.
Yeah. Very good. So the idea of this is so that everyone can watch her light the candles.
That's right.
And say, is she doing that right? No, I'm just kidding. But I think it's always fun to watch people light candles, because sometimes you got to shake the, it's just very interesting. Don't forget to light the Christ candle in the middle, too.
He didn't give you a hard time, Michael.
Not done yet.
Patience, grasshopper.
It's a shy candle. All right, well, what are we talking about today? Talk about the metaphysical interpretation of the Charles Dickens movie, A Christmas Carol. So during Advent, we celebrate the birth of the Christ presence, not just as a one-time event in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, but as a living awakening inside of each one of us now. And this is one of the greatest stories, I think, to illustrate the rebirth of joy. The Christmas Carol. Don't you think? So on the surface, it's a tale about a grumpy miser named Scrooge, or fill in the blank. But metaphysically, it is the story of the soul awakening from fear to love, from contraction to expansion, from sorrow to joy. That sound good? Yeah. So joy is the organic state of the human soul that forgives and releases what is not ours to carry. How many have learned to let go of what is not yours to do or to carry around with you? A lot of people are carrying a lot of stuff with them that doesn't belong to them. Now, I'm not saying that they're criminals or anything like that, but a lot of people carry a lot of heavy stuff that's not theirs. They picked it up from somebody else, and they're carrying that with them. So the Buddha said that one of the principles is that it's this idea of knowing what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry. Right? So that's very important. Very important. So Scrooge represents the fearful self, the part of us that has forgotten who we are and what we actually carry, which is the Christ presence. So he was visited by 3 ghosts. You didn't know it was a ghost story, did you?
Yes, they did.
Oh. And those 3 spirits represent the light of awakening, or the calling forth of the Christ Spirit. Okay? How many understand that every revelation in your life that comes to you is about one thing? To awaken you to who you truly are. Isn't that amazing? That's what it's all about. And so joy is one of those attributes. It's one of those signs that you're a little more enlightened than you were yesterday. The more you carry joy rather than carry sorrow. How many know that we all have things that happen to us in our lives, don't we? But once you can set it down and resolve it and let it go, then it frees up your hands so you can pick up something different, some joy, right? How much joy can you stand? Look at the person next to you and say, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much can you stand? And I want people tell me all the time, James, I'm a 10. I want it all. But can you really stand it? Right? That's the question.
Yeah. So I was thinking of the scripture that talks about, joy, or that sadness lasts for a season, but
Yeah.
joy always comes in the morning. Joy is always there. It's always present. Sometimes we go through a season of sorrow, but we return back, and that joy is always there.
Because it's your true natural state.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Yeah. So Scrooge is so stingy that he won't even put an extra lump of coal in the fire pot on Christmas Eve. He's so miserly that he even doesn't want Bob Cratchit to even get a little time off for the holiday. He's just a stingy old miserly, bah humbug, right? That's his attitude. So the first ghost that visits him is the ghost of Christmas past. That's right. So joy begins with a reckoning. His joy begins with a reckoning, ghost of Christmas past. And joy sometimes requires us to do some honest seeking, but we do it without judgment. We need to do it without judgment. We need to be kind to ourselves. So I really enjoyed this last Wednesday. We did a viewing of the Jim Carrey version of the Christmas Carol here at the church for movie night. And one of the things that we commented on that we found so interesting was that when the ghost of Christmas past visited him, he was carrying, or he was connected to, all of these chains that were embedded in big blocks. And he was dragging this stuff with him. Have you ever felt like you were dragging the stuff from the past along with you? And did you know you don't have to do that?
What a drag.
Oh, my goodness. The ghost of Christmas past really symbolizes, in the metaphysical interpretation, illuminated memory. Illumined memory. It's the higher self showing us what we've been carrying that's no longer serving us. Are you the same person that you were 5 years ago? Then you're certainly not the same person that you were 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I think back to my little 30-year-old self. Bless her heart. She made some really poor decisions. She was a kind, compassionate person, but she really made some poor decisions and had to deal with the consequences and the repercussions of those choices that were made.
Me.
Not knowing any... No. That was before 30. I didn't go back that far. But when I think back, or, something is said about, do you remember when you did such and such, and I'm like, no, that person doesn't exist anymore. The only place that person exists anymore is right here.
Yeah.
I am a new interpretation, a new a new display.
A new vision, a new version.
Yes, of what that person could become and did go on to become, right? We don't want to let ourselves be drug along by the chains of the past, whether it's events, whether it's people, whether it's feelings, whether it's unforgiveness that we're holding on to, whatever it is. So Scrooge is shown in his past moments where innocence was lost. He went back and met saw again the love of his life. He experienced a look into the wounds that had remained unhealed in him, the choices that he made, as did I, from fear or from not knowing any better, perhaps, and the dreams that he abandoned along the way. You know, he had these wonderful dreams when he was a young man, when he was an apprentice, and then he went on to let the fears of scarcity and all that invade his beingness and just became something that was not good. So it was not to shame him in the Ghost of Christmas Past revealing all of this and having him remember all of this, but it was to bring compassion to the parts of him that really froze long ago. Did you know that you encounter some people that perhaps are 60 years old, but really they're frozen as little 12-year-olds? They're frozen. Something happened in their life so chaotic, so traumatic, that they're literally frozen. We don't want to be frozen in a time past. We want to look at things that have happened with compassion and seek, honestly, how we can make peace with those things, forgive ourselves. Oh gosh, that's hard, isn't it? It's sometimes easier to forgive other people than ourselves. So Emily Cady said the only real bondage is ignorance, darkness, or the inability to see. So we have to turn on the light. We want to turn on the light and look at those things that are sometimes screaming for our attention. I've had things that just were screaming for my attention. And I keep going, oh, not now, not now, not now, right? But we want to turn the light of joy onto those things and reveal what is really there. And A Course in Miracles says forgiveness is the key to happiness. We must remember to do our forgiveness work. So joy is not found by denying the past. It's found instead by seeing the past through the eyes of compassion and releasing those emotional chains that we've let define us. We've let them define us. So stop judging your past and yourself. It just makes it bigger. Did you ever talk to a sibling about an event that happened and you saw it two completely different ways? Right? The story exists in your head. The past exists in your head, in your thinking about it, in your memory about it, and your memory is not always correct. Your perception of the events are your perception of the events, tempered and given through the prism of your experience and so forth. So let's let go of that stuff. Shake it off. Oh, there's a great song about that.
Is there?
Shake it off. Shake it off. So maybe we need to take a joy inventory and ask ourselves these questions. What am I still carrying that is no longer mine to hold? What am I carrying that's no longer mine to hold? Where has my heart closed without my noticing it? Have I closed my heart off to someone or something, set someone outside of my heart, set someone outside the spirit and being of unity, being of one spirit? And what would compassion say to the younger me? That's a really good one. What would compassion say to the younger me? And maybe, let's take that a step further. What would compassion say to the people that were around me, the younger me, to the people who were a part of my younger me life? Because sometimes the people around us were not always kind and compassionate and caring and loving. So what would compassion say to them? How would
That's their
compassion
fault.
choose? Huh? Are you breaking a sacred moment with humor? Imagine that. So this is the first step in the rebirth of the Christ Spirit, is dealing with those things from the past that are no longer ours to carry.
What is our subject today?
Joy. Oh, hence the joke.
Yeah. So what is joy? Joy is present moment awareness. Present moment awareness. That's where the joy is. You can't find joy in the past. Because if you think about the past, and maybe you were, you're at some, I remember going to Kings Island when I was a kid and riding a roller coaster, in Cincinnati, and just woo, woo, woo. And then I think back, and I can still feel myself and see myself on that roller coaster, having a good time. But see, I'm not back on the roller coaster. I'm doing it within me. Right? It's my thought, it's my thinking, it's my experience. I'm having that experience now. Present moment awareness. Present moment awareness. Who are you with in the moment? Be with them. Express your joy in some way, shape, or form. How many understand that joy carries with it many things? One of those things is abundance. What does misery carry with it? Scarcity. Lack. Unforgiveness. Resentment. Bitterness. He doesn't deserve another lump of coal. Right? Now, maybe we're nice enough to give people extra coal. I've gotten some for Christmas.
You may be getting it again.
But what is joy? Joy is abundance. It's generosity. It's presence. Its presence is the most beautiful thing that you can nurture about your life, that you can nourish in your life, is presence. Oh, wow. When I was a kid, I thought the presents were under the tree. Now I realize, no, it's inside of me. When I am present with you here and now, then we can experience a thrill, a joy, an experience of gratitude, an experience of giving each other a compliment, right? Isn't that wonderful? That's what joy is about. It's the opposite of the old miserly, bitter self, right? It's leaving all that in the past. Leaving it in the past, right? Just leave it alone. I remember remember that time, it was one Christmas, and somebody had come in and opened up all the presents. And you know who it was? Kayla, do you know who it was? It was Chris. When he was, what? 5, 6. And he thought, well, hey, let's just do this now.
And let's just say that his brothers didn't discourage him from doing it.
Well, that's true. They probably talked him into it. If we know the whole story. But anyway, he was present in the moment with those presents, right? So the ghost of Christmas present embodies the overflowing, radiant now. Now. It's good now. A lot of people are living in, oh yeah, I remember when I was in high school, man, I was the king. I was on the basketball team, and I was A+ student, and they talk about the past, as if they were still in high school. Well, guess what? That was then, but this is what? Now. So what's so exciting about you right now? That's what people want to know. What are you into now? What are you doing now? How many understand? It's not how much you have, it's what are you doing with what you have. Say with me, oh. Right? A lot of people say, well, I just want more. I want more. Well, the thing of it is, what are you going to do with it? What can you do with it now? How can you make a difference now, right? It's all about the now. That's where joy naturally lives, is in the now. And so the ghost of Christmas present takes Scrooge into the homes of people with very little. But yet they were full of laughter, warmth, and gratitude. And Scrooge is thinking, what's wrong with these people? Why are they so happy? What is the metaphysical meaning here? It's that joy does not wait for circumstances to be perfect. Oh boy, I'll tell you, one of these days we're going to do this. We're going to take that vacation. We're going to do that work. We're going to build that thing. We're going to go over to there and do this and that. Oh, it's going to be great. Right? What are you doing now? Are you taking action steps toward that? Right?
Yeah.
Am I about to hit you?
it's fine.
Sorry. So I get carried away sometimes. I'm here now, though, right? I'm in the now. And so joy is a spiritual atmosphere that you create in your home, that you create within yourself, that you take with you everywhere you go. That's the Christmas spirit, the Christ spirit, right? That's what it's all about. It's a consciousness of abundance. It's not a condition of the world. It doesn't matter what they do. It only really matters to you what you do, what you say, how you think. Does that make sense? Because everybody else can be like confused. And you're saying, oh yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Say it with me, say, I'm good. Yeah. So Tiny Tim symbolizes the innocent Christ child consciousness. There's a Tiny Tim in all of us. Right? Which sees blessing where others see limitation. God bless us, everyone. Oh, wow. How big is your God? When I talk to people, I like to ask them sometimes in their particular religious belief system, I say, how big is your God? You know, when I grew up in a particular kind of belief system where we believed in a big devil and a little bitty God. Because the devil, boy, he was giving me headaches and heartaches and flat tires and all kinds of stuff. Oh, my goodness. You know, just walking around with the devil consciousness. Instead of that Christ enlightened, illuminated consciousness. And that's what Tiny Tim represents. Yeah. There's a spark of light inside of you. There's a little Timmy inside of you that said, God bless us, everyone. I believe in a God that loves all, that cares for all, that says, come to me and let's just be, right? A God of open arms. Can you believe in a God that good? You know, not a Scrooge God. A lot of people believe that about God. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout, because I'm telling you why. Right? The grouchy God. Right? Because sometimes we create divinity in our own image. You got stuff to think about, don't you, today? So Charles Fillmore said that God is the source of a mighty stream of joy. The source of a mighty stream of joy. That sound good? Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you say is, thank you, that is enough. Right? Well, I'm not sure what to tell them. I'm not sure what to say. Just say thank you. Just start thanking everybody in your life, right? Thank you, Leah, for that wonderful dinner we had. Thank you for saying you're welcome. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for smiling at me. Thank you for laughing at my jokes even when they're not funny. Thank you.
So the final main point, the third ghost that visits, is the ghost of Christmas's future.
Yeah.
The ghost of Christmases yet to come. And this really is about choosing love over fear. Ebenezer looked at the tombstone and the body that was covered, and who does that belong to? Pursuing the path of fear will lead to an early grave, right? So it's about choosing love over fear. This final spirit is not a punishment. It's a metaphysical mirror of what life becomes when we refuse to awaken to joy. I know some people that have refused to awaken to joy.
You going to start naming names?
No.
Good.
But they look like they just need to go ahead and lay down and call it quits, right? Just nothing. No spark of joy, no spark of, everything is an upset. It's just misery. It's not where I want to be. It's not who I want to be. So Scrooge sees the unhealed future that flows from that fear, as well as isolation, grief, an unwillingness to forgive, and again, clinging to what is not his to carry. The future, when you get a reading from a psychic and they tell you this is what's going to happen to you, the future is not fixed. You have a lot of say-so in what's going to happen in the future, right? It's not a fixed event. It's shaped by our current state of consciousness. My current state of consciousness here and now, today, in this present moment, will shape my future. We understand that, right? When Scrooge cries, "I am not the man I was," after all is said and done, he makes the Advent declaration of joy. He's transformed. He's made a choice. He's made a decision. He's been moved by all that he's seen and experienced with his time with these ghosts. And he says, "I'm not the man I was before. I have been changed. I have been transformed. I've had an epiphanal moment." Have you been changed? Have you had an epiphany? Have you had an awakening moment where you made the decision that my future is going to be good? I'm not dragging the past with me. I'm creating it in this present moment, and this is what it's going to be like. This is what it's going to look like. It's a turning point. We say to ourselves, I choose a different way of thinking, a different consciousness. That's what joy is about. So Charles Fillmore said, "Today we begin anew." When someone asks you, "Have you been born again?" what should your answer be?
Absolutely.
Yes. Every single moment that you take a breath, you are renewed. You are born again. You have the chance to do something different. That fight you just had 5 minutes ago, you can do that different. You can go back and go, "You know what? I did not handle that in the way I want to. Can I have a redo? Can we redo?" I love redos. Can we redo? And you can do it differently. Every single moment you can choose something different. All things
Yeah.
can be made new and different from the attitude, not the attitude, the beingness, being in the now moment, in that joy. Sadness will come. Yes, it will. Down moments will come. It's part of the human experience, isn't it? Those things happen. Some of us had that happen this past week. We were a little down. But joy comes in the morning. When you get on the other side of that
When you
temporary
wake up.
state of, that temporary state of sorrow, the joy is there. It's always present. It's just your awareness
Right.
of it and turning your awareness back to it.
Well, not only do we believe in unity of being born again, but we also believe in reincarnation. In other words, in every moment, I'm being reincarnated. I'm not the same guy, right? So we can embrace everybody, meet them where they're at, and it's okay, right? We're not here to make anybody wrong. Well, let me tell you, in our church, we don't believe in that. You know, I remember talking to the minister when I was a kid and said, well, what about this? And he says, well, we don't believe in that. I said, oh, what about this? Oh, well, don't even think about that. I said, what am I supposed to think about? Well, think about what I tell you to think about.
Right. Right. It's amazing the number of people that we sit down with that are, in unity for the first time or whatever the case may be, and they'll say, I was the troublemaker in Sunday school. I was the one that asked all the questions. Well, of course you are. That's why you're here, right? Because we ask questions. We ask questions. That's why you're here. So this beautiful conclusion of the Advent season with joy, and we have layered that on top of the unfolding of our faith, peace, love, and now joy. And these are not just wonderful little seasonal things that we look at and explore and talk about. These are innate states of being that we carry with us throughout the year. And when we let that innate beingness, that Christ presence, that love, the faith, the joy, and the peace, when we let that out on full display, it affects everyone that comes in contact with us in some way. So that's our opportunity, is to take all of this into the whole coming year and not just make it a seasonal thing, but make it our lifestyle, who we are. There should be no separation, honestly, between what you do and who you are, right? This is just who I am. And because it's who I am, it's what I do.
And here we are. Another Christmas has come. We get to participate, be a part of. And it's about the people. It's about each one of us. Our love that we share. That hug. That closeness. Just the knowledge that you're there. And I know I could talk to you at any time. That's what community is. That's what a celebration is really about, celebrating the connectivity. You ever plug something in, but it doesn't come on, it doesn't work? Because it's not connected. It's not connected. How many know that we need to plug in, get connected to our true source within? And once you connect to the source in you, you're also connecting in the source with the source in everybody else. Same source. There's only one God. Just one. not my God or your God. It's, Jesus said, our Father. Our Father. Take a breath of that. This loving, universal Spirit shows up in the world from time to time. Always comes in a manger, in a cave. And when that Christ Spirit comes, many times is not welcome or accepted. Just doesn't fit in with the prevailing winds and trends. But the Christ keeps coming back. So many different shapes and sizes and forms. And that Christ shows up in you. Here you are, the body of the Christ. With your gifts, your talents, with your love, with your joy. Oh, just take a breath of joy with me, will you? Oh, feels so good. And so today, we let the past go. We let go of those heavy chains that we have been dragging around. We let go of the stuff of anger and fear. And we leave it. We leave it behind. What's true now? What's true for you now? What brings you joy today? Be about that. That's about as close to God as you're ever going to get, is the joy. Following your joy, because the joy is divine presence. It's that little tickle on the inside that says, go this way. Talk to that person. Walk over here. And then you find yourself being at the right place at the right time with the right people. And that feels good. So today, I invite you to forgive everybody in your life, including yourself. Just release, 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 release. Then after you leave, we'll sweep it all up and we'll put it all out in the recycling. We'll make sure that you don't have to carry it with you anymore. So today, let us remember those in our lives that do so much for us, that help us in so many different ways. The person behind the counter that waits on us, people at the restaurant, the people that come and take your trash away. Where does it go? I don't know. But it's gone. Thank you. Let us remember to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for the love I feel, the peace that I have, and the joy I get to experience. The all-loving goodness of God in each and every life. If you know of someone that you'd like to hold in this moment of prayer, I invite you to whisper their name, or maybe get a mental image of them in your heart. And in your own way, say a prayer for them. Affirm their higher and higher and higher good. See them succeeding. See them blessed. See them living their dreams. And let yourself be an example of that. So we're grateful now for the spirit of the Christ, the Christmas spirit, which is giving and generosity. In just a few days, maybe you'll be spending some time with family and friends. Remember to pay attention to every moment. Squeeze all the juice out of it. Drink from a full cup. You might as well. That's what it's there for. And so, we bless the world. We bless all people. God bless us. Everyone. I invite you into the stillness for just a moment. So allow that feeling of gratitude to well up in your heart, and then come forth from your lips, saying, "Thank you, God," and so it is. Amen.